Welcome back to WrestleForce TV, ladies and gentlemen. I start the introductions now because in our last match, the match began out of nowhere. Before I could even make the formal introductions, Mark came flying over the top rope. Heck, I should say, if you haven't seen that match, go watch it now before you watch this match right here, this big rematch. And if you haven't done that yet, I will now fill you in on the details of this rematch. Now, James Pharrell, after a splendid match from both Mark and James, unfortunately, James Pharrell...
So, ladies and gentlemen, we have your champion in the ring. He decided to come out first, apparently, because of what Mark did last week in Romford. If you haven't seen what Mark did in Romford, he dived over the ropes from the corner and landed on James Pharrell.
Indeed, what a way that was to start the match. But what a way the match ended with James Pharrell slapping Martin Ravenson, the referee.
Before I do the introductions, we will get his competitor out. Can we have his music, please?
Yes, indeed, it is. The stipulation is signed here. James Pharrell, if he attempts to get himself intentionally disqualified, he will be stripped of the titles and fired from WrestleForce. Indeed, the titles don't change hands normally on a disqualification. James Pharrell exploited that rule. What the hell is this now? Nathan Angel, Brandon Lee, the tag champions, have jumped Mark Trew while he was making his entrance. Oh. You know, you try it. Mark's fighting back with a headbutt to Nathan. It's 3-on-1. No, oh dear me, there was no stipulation for a match prior to the bell. Oh, I'm helpless to do anything, I'm afraid, even if I wanted to. Oh, and I can't, my elbow's shattered from the match earlier on. Mark, they've turned their back on Mark! You never want to do that! Shades of last week, he's wiped out all three of the Prestige! Mark Trew with a front flip over the top rope. This time, it was over the rope and not the corner post, but it was unassisted. He didn't use the corner post for leverage. He flew. Mark needs to get this in the ring. And the bell needs to be rung, because then if the rest of the Prestige want to get involved, that's a disqualification. Mark's in. The bell should be rung. Well, I believe the match is underway. There's the bell. It is good. And finally, we've got some protection now. If the Prestige try and get involved again, that's a disqualification. The stipulation has been made to prevent such a horrible outcome as what we saw in Romford. Crowd at the William de Ferrers School Hall in South Woodham Ferrers have been chanting off the top all night. Well, they got something off the top, it just didn't come to fruition. James was out the way. Nice arm drag from James Pharrell, holds on to the wrist as well. Pulls Mark back up and, oh, what an uppercut! What a hip toss. Didn't even send him, but shoved him. Big slam. And when James Pharrell is focused, there is no better match. These two have wrestled each other a lot. Most recently in Romford. And although it seemed a frightening prospect at the start when the Prestige got the jump on Mark, Well, that did not get James the upper hand. Mark's battling back. Although as the match progressed, James did take the upper hand and has kept the upper hand with that jumping back elbow. So you have to put the odds on Mark. It seems he's in his prime. And indeed, I think even James felt he was beat last time at Romford to get himself intentionally disqualified. So much for the motto of the Prestige being the best at what they do. Not cheating. James is standing on Mark's throat, for goodness sake. Well, indeed, it was going to be Mark and Kieran challenging for the tag titles today. That was scheduled. But due to the finish we saw at Romford, we had a rematch signed with the stipulation that I've already mentioned, so that we might have a satisfying conclusion. That's very dumb of James, and he should know better. He's wrestled Mark Trew enough to know that you need to focus on Mark when you're wrestling him. And Lee Bamber, I don't suppose, is gonna... Well, if he was, Mark's reset the count. If Lee Bamber was going to administer a count out. James Pharrell trying to use a backpack? Are you kidding me? Well, he got it in his face. We're into the bleachers. Don't know how well the spotlight's going to catch this. James managed to turn it around. Mark had James on the back foot. Mark's regained it. Mark has regained control, but Mark needs to be careful because it would be entirely his own fault now if he was to sustain a count out. WrestleForce management have done everything they can for Mark to make sure that James is protected from a disqualification finish. But, oh my gosh, that's a 9! Thank goodness for that. And Mark's looking for the pop-up powerbomb. He's not finding it. Just catching my breath. We almost had a double count out. And after all the measures taken to ensure we don't have such a catastrophically bad finish as we did at the last event. We must see a winner. We need to see a definitive winner. We can't see a shortcut. Look at that headbutt. I've not seen James Pharrell do that before. Pharrell, I think I got it wrong. He's the 5-time Undisputed Champion. He's gone up top and it has not paid off. Oh, what a drop kick to the face by James Pharrell to Mark Trew. Well, that's very impressive that James Pharrell was able to pull off his patented high drop kick, but right after being thrown from the top rope, catapulting Mark throat first into the rope. What accusations are being made here? Lee Bamber could be disqualifying James for that, and as we all know, if James gets disqualified, that's it. Catapult, that's a slightly more legal means of catapult. Follows it up with stomps. That's 3. And a choke. Come on, James, you've got to knock that off. Mark going to the outside for some reprieve. Is James going to follow in this time? They're testing Lee Bamber's leniency. Oh, Mark went straight to the apron's edge from that catapult and followed up with a cross press. Handspring! Oh, drop kick from James Pharrell. Mark is in a lot of trouble. I thought Mark was going to turn things around. Well, Mark's been caught right in the wrist with that drop kick. Now Mark can execute that maneuver without the assistance of his hands. And he might have to.
You said so, I'm going to do it.
No, come off it. What is James Pharrell doing? Just exposing it. What is James doing? Mark's rolled him up. But ran into a back elbow from James Pharrell. Oh, what a corner posting. Mark was flipped off his feet from it. Lee Bamber's got the corner pad. I don't like this. I don't know what James is up to, and I don't like it. But I have a bad feeling he's up to something.
Don't give up! 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 Don't give up!
Mark in a side headlock. He's battling out of it. Shut down with a club to the back from James. Back suplex. Mark's gone to his feet. Knocks James off his feet. And again, how much damage is that doing to his wrist and arm? It doesn't matter, he's bearing it. Handspring, he managed it. Although he did use his hand. There, oh, he used his hand again, but he's managed the handspring moonsault. It wasn't to be. It wasn't a slow count. I disagree with that member of the audience. He's calling it fair and square. Mark wants to be very careful. He's vulnerable. He's going up there with a hurt wrist. What the heck? No, come. That's it, James. If you do that, it's all over. It's not to be again. Mark's not going to have it. Mark isn't allowing James to take that way out. What's happened to the belts? James has them in his hands still. Where have the belts got to? I mean, that was a kick. Olympic Uranagi. Oh, that. It's only registering to me now. It was a heat of the moment thing, but I mean, is that?
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, and still WrestleForce Unified Champion, James Pharrell.
James Pharrell kicked that rope. And that's always a grey area because technically it's not you who's administered the low blow. You've kicked the rope, which has in turn done the low blow. It's a very frustrating situation. And indeed, Lee Bamber didn't make the call to disqualify him. It didn't even register to me that James should be disqualified. Well, On paper, it ought to be a more satisfying conclusion, but I feel...
Give it up once again for your winner, and still, WrestleForce Unified Champion, James Pharrell.
I apologise, it's just hard to come to terms with that. Well, thank you for...
Left the building. Please give it up for your runner-up, Mark Trew!
Mark Trew lives to fight another day. We thank you for joining us on WrestleForce TV. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And if you like the content, consider becoming a patron to support us. You get to see these videos way ahead of when they're released on YouTube. Take care, everyone.